of the best IPAs that's out there is from a place called Russian River Brewing, and it's Pliny the Elder. And today we are pouring Pliny the Elder, which is probably, for me as a person that is enjoying IPAs but not like gung-ho about crazy hops, which is my buddy Jeremy. The Pliny the Elder seems to be one of those beers that just work really well.
And I'm gung-ho about hops, and I think Pliny the Elder is fantastic.
It's 8%, and it is coveted out there. There are places that can't get it, one of which is Fresno. But guess what? Frisco, or San Francisco, is not too far away, so I make my runs and get a couple every now and then. So
it has a brother called Pliny the Younger,
which is now the best IPA out there. But you can't get it in a bottle. You can only get it in your mouth at Russian River when they release it, and
they make you line up and go under the tap.
Yep.
They won't even give you a glass.
No glasses. And they cut you off after your mouth after it dribbles down. All right. Well, so looking at this, it's definitely probably more of an orange golden.
I would give it a copper.
Copper. Yeah.
Copper.
I think copper is actually a pretty good description.
It's almost got an amber hint to it.
Yeah. A little. That's what I think. That's what I was picking up on.
It's definitely got some bubbles.
Yeah, it's got some bubbles, but the head seems to dissipate.
It does.
Very quick.
It does, which is not unusual for an IPA style beer.
Yeah.
Any type of ale really doesn't foam up that much. It's not really that type of beer. I'm sure that has to deal with temperature too, though.
Wow, man, that smells. You know what that reminds? Okay, here comes my crazy old connections. That reminds me of like, what's that stuff that you use to mop up your floors? That's all piney.
Pine Sol.
Pine Sol. Smells like pine Sol.
Are you gonna mop your floor with Pliny the Elder?
Hell no. So definitely lots of pine. I mean, it's pine. It feels like it.
I'm done smelling mine. I'm tasting it.
Yeah. Jeremy sometimes the best.
I jumped the gun a little bit.
You did.
Sorry.
But it's definitely Pliny.
That should be a new verb. Is that a verb?
That's awesome. It's definitely very Pliny.
Is Pliny a verb?
Man, I like it. I mean, you know what? It makes me want to go camping.
Or is that an adjective?
Not really any citrus in the nose. It's just all pine. It's all hops.
It kind of just, it doesn't really change when you drink it. A lot of these beers you drink will have, something that just socks you in the face and then kind of cools out on the back. Or you'll drink it and it's nice and easy, and the next thing you know, you got hops going down your throat. This one's kind of just real consistent, straight down the middle the whole time.
Yeah.
It's just a consistent beer. I mean, it's very well balanced, which is why I love it. It's just a good IPA. It's front to back. It's nice.
It is. It's an amazing IPA. Really, I can see why it's the best IPA out there.
I would almost say it's the IPA that you try to make. Try to make something well balanced, and they definitely do a good job with it.
It's got a nice front. It doesn't go too citrusy. That pine, that hops, doesn't take hold until it's supposed to. I mean, it is magic. I mean, that if I'm going to look at this beer in a bell curve, which is what I do with most everything I taste, that thing is about as perfect bell curve for an IPA as you can get. That end is hoppy, piney, but it doesn't last long. It kind of just drifts off. It's a little dry, but compared to the Sculpin IPA, it's definitely not nearly as dry as at the end. it's beautiful.
I think it's
crafted.
You know, I don't think it's as dry at the end, but I do think it lingers longer. The hops, they linger longer. I'm still tasting it right now, whereas in the Sculpin, I wasn't tasting it after I drank it. I drank it and it was gone. It would kind of fade away real quick. Whereas I'm still tasting Pliny right now, which I don't mind, but it lingers longer. It's got more of a hops to it. Really
so
does.
is it just the hops that lingers, or I'm actually getting a little bit of that grapefruit kind of end that sits in my mouth? Like I start getting that that hoppy end, but I think then after just a little bit longer, I get a little bit of the grapefruit like citrus that kind of starts coming back.
I think what you're trying to put out there is that it makes you want to have another drink.
It sure does.
And I think that's the beauty of it is it lingers just enough to where it makes you somewhat thirsty, and it makes you remember what you had, and therefore it makes you want to drink another one. And I think that's a fantastic idea. If you put that in your beer somehow,
Yeah.
works for me.
I think that's the most magical idea that I've ever heard of.
Yeah, I don't know what ingredient that is, but it's really cool. If you ever get the chance to drink it, try it.
Do not pass it up.
Order it. When you go to major cities, seek it out. And if you can find the younger and they happen to be serving it, have a pint of it.
Definitely.
You know.
All right, guys. This is Jason,
Jeremy,
Liquid Tie Dye.
and Pliny.
Yep. Our best.